republic of laws, not men.
Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution of peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation. And they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indicted as warmongers.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
Wow.
You just killed it right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
The music would have played on, but that's okay.
He just realized this was really not fourth hour. But it's good. Trey, you're doing an awesome job, Trey.
Can you find the banana splits one? Is there one there that says banana splits on it?
La la la
Banana
la
splits.
la.
Look at the bottom of the list.
We need to play peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time,
Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
What?
Try track 21.
Oh Lord!
Oh wow, here we go.
And now, for those of you here at home, prepare to be bored to tears.
I just
No.
pointed out.
Try track 20.
Oh, stop!
He needs to label it, damn it. You got to push play. No. Try track 19.
Oh no, we're not doing this now. This is my hour. This is my part of the show.
Try track 18.
No, don't do any more, Trey. Remember what we discussed. Who do you work for?
Who's giving you a ride home?
Who
Track
do you
18.
work for? Who do you work for, Trey?
All
right.
It's going to take us like 30 seconds.
No, we don't need to do this. We're in the middle of the last hour. You're not going to eat up my hour of the show. This is the part that I look forward to every week. We didn't do it last week. I'm not going to waste any more time while you look at these tracks that you should have freaking labeled in the first place so we can try to figure out what music you want to hear for 30 goddamn seconds
there's one
before we
specific-
start the last hour of the show. So when we get to the... Oh, we finally got the track. Play the track. All right, there's a track. It's the end of the show. Everybody go home. I don't think so.
I am really sitting in the wrong spot. I just took a shower, man.
Hey,
God
Trey,
dang.
play track 12.
You know,
Don't play track 12,
you're
Trey.
not supposed to spit on a black
I swear
man,
to God,
right?
I will come in there, drop trowel, and crap on your lap. I swear to God.
At first, I thought he was going to say he was going to drop kick. I wanted to see that.
All right, let me tell this story. This is such horse crap. Now, this is from fathersandfamilies.org.
Compared to cow
Well,
crap?
hold on. This is horrible. Now, first off, keep in mind, this is from a slighted site. It's from fathersandfamily.org, which is a site that's dedicated to what? Fathers and their families. Which I respect because as a single dad, we get crapped on a lot. Not this bad. Let me read you the story. 2.5 Men star John Cryer. First of all, I'm hesitant to say he's the star of the show. Okay, he's not the star of the show. First it was Charlie Sheen, and now it's Ashton Kutcher. You take them off of the show, John Cryer is on the unemployment line. But anyway, 2.5 Men star John Cryer must pay child support for his son, of whom he has custody. Here's the opinion of the California Appellate Court. Yes, it's true. John Cryer has almost sole custody of his son with Sarah Trigger Cryer. She has 4% of the parenting time.
That's not one day.
4%.
That's
4%.
Holy cow.
that's half a day.
He has the other 96%. So you'd think she'd be paying child support to him, but no, it's the other way around. He's paying her because a Los Angeles trial court ordered him to, and the appellate court upheld the order. As you read the appellate opinion, continually ask yourself that tried and true question, what would happen if the sexes were reversed? Background story, ready? John and Sarah were married in 2000. They were both actors at the time. They had a son but divorced in 2004 with Sarah getting primary custody and John paying child support. By 2009, Sarah's life had gone from bad to worse. Apparently, she hadn't had an acting job since 2005. Indeed, if she's had any job at all, it's not reflected in the evidence before the court. For that matter, she seems entirely disinclined to look for work for reasons which will soon become obvious. Both John and Sarah remarried, but it only took a few years for Sarah's second marriage to hit the skids. She had a son by that marriage too, and she had custody of both boys. Soon, though, John filed for a modification of custody, saying that Sarah was an unfit parent who left the children unsupervised. His request was denied, but the court admonished Sarah for negligent parenting. In 2009, her child by her second husband was injured while under her care, and both children were taken from her and given to their dads. You with me so far?
Right here.
So John said, the bitch is crazy. And the court said, well, you're crazy, woman, but you're not that crazy. We'll let you keep the kids. So John did the obvious thing. He's got custody of the kid. So he asked the court to reduce his child support order from $10,000 a month to nothing. After all, he's the custodial parent, and the custodial parents don't pay child support. They get it, right? Well, as the court admitted, that's usually the case, but not here. Here, John must continue paying Sarah $8,000 a month, even though she only sees the child 4% of the time. Why? Because she's a deadbeat. Sarah answered John's request for a reduction of child support by saying it's her only income, which apparently it is. That's because she hasn't had a job of any kind since 2005. Into the bargain, she's not looking for one. In her last filing, she listed her monthly income as $0 and her monthly expenses as over $13,000. So according to both the trial and the appellate courts, because Sarah's too much of a deadbeat to even attempt to support herself, John must continue to support her with child support, providing the weakest of pretexts of doing so. Should I go on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You ready for this? It's better. So, how many times have fathers been told that they should stop griping about the countless injustices of the child support system because it's all for the child? Yes, it's unfair, they're told, but just put a socket and pay it's for the child, don't you see? Well, this case gives light of the fact and doesn't beat around the bush about it. No one believes it takes $8,000 a month, $96,000 a year to support a child 4% of the time. The money has nothing to do with support. It has everything to do with a deadbeat mom. In this case, the bottom line is John earns a lot of money, Sarah earns none. Therefore, John pays Sarah even though he's the custodial parent. Simple. Now, no opinion in a custody case will be complete without genuflections to the best interest of the child, and this is no exception. Sarah told the court that if John didn't pay her child support, she'd lose the house she lives in that he helped her buy when they got divorced. He helped her buy a house when they got divorced.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Assuming that to be the case, that would mean that she'd have to live somewhere else. According to the courts, that'd be too traumatic for their son. Keep in mind that 4% of a month is a little over a day. So according to the court, asking a child to spend a day and a night with his mother in an apartment somewhere in Los Angeles would be so emotionally damaging to him that it warrants imposing child support on a custodial parent.
How old is this kid?
We'll get there. Okay. Of course, it would be nothing of the sort. Millions of children in this country live their whole lives in worse conditions and muddle through perfectly well. Into the bargain, cutting Sarah off daddy welfare might actually encourage her to better herself. The judges didn't manage to notice what everyone over the age of 12 would, that the reason why Sarah has no income and is making no effort to work and earn is because she's living off of John. Take away from her and maybe she'd start lifting a finger. Anything is possible. But the courts weren't finished. Perhaps sensing a radical injustice of what they were doing, both tried another tact. Because Sarah's children were taken from her by the Department of Children and Family Services due to her neglect, There was a dependency proceeding in juvenile court at the same time that the child support was being litigated. No one knew what the outcome of the dependency proceeding might have been. They only knew that John had custody and Sarah didn't. That could have changed at any time. The juvenile court didn't have anything from returning. The juvenile court could have done anything from returning full custody to Sarah to terminating her parental rights altogether. So according to the courts, nothing could be done about John's child support obligation because, well, the juvenile court might make the custody arrangement at any time. So they basically said, since we don't know what the juvenile court's going to do, we don't want to get involved. So keep paying $8,000.
Wow. Wow.
I'm almost done with this story. I get mad when I read this story.
Oh my God. Wow.
All right.
Continue.
We all know that if the juvenile court had altered the custody situation significantly, either John or Sarah could have gone to court and requested a modification of the child support based on the changed circumstances. And guess what? The courts know that too. They even said as much. But according to them, because circumstances might change in the future, their hands are tied. John has to keep paying his ex-wife because, well, something might happen. It's hard to get more blatant than this. It's mommy support thinly disguised as child support. The child will never see 1/10 of this money. In fact, she's using it to pay her lawyers in the dependency case. And again, imagine if the sexes were reversed. Imagine a father saying, Judge, it's true, I can earn a living, but haven't lifted a finger to do so in 6 years. And it's true, I lost custody because I'm dangerous to the children in my care, but my ex-wife needs to pay me a large sum of money every month for a child I rarely see, and we need to pretend it's child support. Would the judge laugh him out of court, or would the judge toss him in jail? I can't decide. So that's the story. Now again,
wow.
We've talked on this show before. We've talked on this show before.
Here it comes.
About the atrocities in this system, about how men get treated.
This is like K-Dog porn.
This is
right
the
here.
build-up.
He's getting worked up.
It's
he's building up. He's got a sweat coming.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
It's like he's having good sex.
I almost want to step back about
The
10
son is
feet.
9 years old, by the way. Thank you, Desiree, for that.
9 years old, and it would be a traumatic... okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Now, I also want to tell you that...
You
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
you absolutely have permission and the right to become K-Dog, the loose cannon tonight.
Oh, loose cannon's coming. Loose cannon's coming. If you've never heard me do loose cannon, you might want to sit down. Get a pen and paper, take some notes. I also... I'm also looking for... Hold on a minute. I want to get his name because I want to make sure that I don't mispronounce it. GQ announced their Father of the Year. And I was at a Christian men's retreat over the weekend, and I had the opportunity to meet the Father of the Year for GQ. And I'm trying to remember what his name was, and I cannot remember it. You can read more about him. Go to his site. They call me dad.com. Great guy. We had a great conversation, but he alluded to this as well, a lot more politely than I have, a lot more restrained than I have. Here's the ish. The ish is this. We continue to see on a regular basis that men's rights aren't respected. There are no men's rights in this country. Here's what there is. There is a system that looks out for the child, and there is a system that looks out for the mother and the mother's repeated receiving of payments. Nobody cares if you're a dad if you see your kid. Nobody cares where you're at for your kid. Nobody cares what you do for your kid. Nobody cares where you are. They want to make sure that you're cashing a check. Now, the John Cryer situation is just a more blatant example of that. He has custody of the kid, and he's still paying child support to the mother where the kid doesn't live anymore, so she can maintain a very nice house, even though she has the child 4% of the time. But because John Cryer is very successful, makes an ass ton of money, he's still paying her what is not really child support. It's spousal support called child support because it's the only way they make it stick. Mm-hmm. Here's the larger issue. We talked in the last hour about Pat Buchanan saying that white people are the only people that are allowed to be discriminated against. No, I would twist it around and say that men are the only people that get to be discriminated, and white men specifically. I hate to dredge up personal bullshit again, but I'll do it because it's true and I'm a little imbalanced.
A little?
But I walked into court in Snohomish with some fat-ass bitchy judge with a parenting plan in my hand. And I said, Your Honor, I have a parenting plan. A freaking parenting plan! And she said, we're not here to discuss the parenting plan. We're just going to tell you how much to pay. In my best Scooby-Doo voice, what? Are you... Listen, you cannot order a father to pay child support if you're not going to order the mother to let the father see the freaking child. But that's what they do. And do you know why they do it? Because there's money to be made by the government in keeping this in the hands of the government. Every time Christian Gregoire, and now fast forward to whatever the dipshit name of the governor is we have now. What's his name?
Jay Inslee.
Jay Inslee, you're a douchebag.
He hasn't done anything.
Exactly. You haven't done anything. The system is still broke, you walking bag of human excrement. Listen, every time we have to send a check from our paycheck to the state, and then the state turns around and cashes that check and then writes a check 3 days later that they send off to the woman. Guess where that check sits for 3 days? It sits in the bank account for the state. Guess what it does for 3 days? Picks up a teeny tiny little bit of interest. Now multiply that times 150,000 dads that are making payments every month. That teeny tiny little bit of interest becomes a whole bunch of freaking interest.
Dude, that's a hell of a conspiracy theory. You should look into that.
Think about it.
That's
I'm not out of my mind.
Oh, well, yeah.
Women don't get treated the same way. Yeah, listen, a woman doesn't want to pay child support. You know what she does? She does what my ex-wife does. Oh, fuck, I got to get a job? I think I should get knocked up one more time. By the way, my ex-wife is pregnant again. The point is, the rules aren't the same. And they're never going to be the same. And if you're a woman, honestly, if you're a woman, you should be as mad as the guys are. And do you know why that is? The honest to God reason? It's because the government thinks you're too stupid to take care of yourself. The government thinks you can't provide for yourself and your children. The government thinks you can't stand up to your ex. The government thinks you can't do it without their intervention. The government thinks you're not adult enough, you're not mature enough, you're not responsible enough to take care of your kid. I'm serious. Because every time a dad has custody, when I had custody of my sons, when I got custody of my daughter, did the government show up on my doorstep and say, hey, you fat piece of shit, would you like us to go track down your ex so we can make her pay child support? No, they never did. I never got a paycheck. I never got a child support payment from my son's mom or my daughter's mom for the entire time that I had them. Ever. Not one time. But the minute she was on welfare, the minute she was too fat, broken, lazy to get a job, the minute she refused to do anything to better her life, the state came to me and said, you better make sure you pay. This is a broken system. We do not reward men for their hard work. We punish them. Dude got a job? Dude better pay my child support. Bitch, she ain't got a job? He's got to pay more. How in the hell does that make any sense? She gets to sit at home and collect more child support because she has no income.
We have some comments in the chat room. I'm going to have Desiree go ahead and hop.
Do we have chat? Oh, we have comments in the chat room.
I can't see them read them, so I'm going to have Des go ahead and our producer pop in over here.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
I didn't realize we had comments in the chat room. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's because we can't see them.
Go ahead,
Need the
Dennis.
mic turned on.
Yeah, turn her mic up just a little bit.
Let the
you hear
woman
me now?
speak, Trey. Let her speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. DJD started with "For the child, my ass," and then it continues on going. The story is just the craziest nonsense I've read in a long, long time. And Hello Kitty jumps in saying, a mother who doesn't lift a finger to finance her own household and expects the fathers of her kids to pay for everything. Sounds familiar. Continues to say, DJD. Well, it sounds to me like spousal support for a lazy bitch. And then Hello Kitty jumps back and says, I agree, and shame on those mothers who try to have the kid taken from the father simply because they're mad he left their crazy asses and expects to be paid still.
All right.
All right.
All right. Hello Kitty, do me a favor. Leave your personal axe grinding out of the chat room.
What? No, it was perfect.
You know what I know.
No, I'm
Listen.
just saying. I'm just saying it was perfect. The comment was perfect.
Okay. I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
I'm just going to say
All
this.
right.
This system is flawed and messed.
I got 2 months before I can comment.
This system is flawed and messed. It's flawed and it's messed and it's wrong and it's out of control. And again, women, I mean this. Unless I miss the point of the 70s, unless I miss the point of you guys getting equal rights and being able to rise up and take care of yourselves and get equal pay for equal work and take care of yourselves and fund yourselves and educate yourselves and get a real job and start wearing shoes when you leave the house, and you didn't have to be barefoot and pregnant anymore, you could actually put on slippers and you were actually contributing members of society, and now you want to be in combat and you want to fly a freaking airplane and ride in a submarine, whatever. You want to be equal. Well, guess what? This is your chance to be equal. Huh? You find a man that's getting trampled on in society in his rush, in his fight to be treated equally as a father, to pay a fair amount of child support. If you're a single mom and you sit at home and you're collecting the freaking child support check every month, and you're sitting on your ass doing absolutely nothing to better yourself, the child is better off with daddy. The child should be with daddy. If your response is to sit at home all day and you're going to sit on your fat little ass and eat bonbons, the child should be with daddy. Because if daddy's paying child support, and if daddy's busting his ass to do what needs to be done, to take care of his obligations, and you're at home feeding your fat little face, the child should be with daddy. Because all you're teaching Junior is, I'm going to sit around and live off the system, and I'm going to eat my bonbons, and I'm going to get fat and let somebody else take care of me. That's ridiculous and sad. That's all I have to say.
Really? That's it? I mean, I was waiting. I was really waiting on a loose cannon moment there. I didn't really get a loose cannon moment there. I'm
didn't?
kind of disappointed.
Do you want a loose cannon?
Yeah, no.
Bomb them! Bomb them! First I said bomb the French. Okay? Then I said bomb the Scottish. And then I said bomb Japan just to remind them what it was like.
Just to give them a reminder.
Who else have I said to bomb?
Actually, I think your quote was more along the lines, every 50 years we should drop a bomb on Japan just to remind them.
Just to
remind them what we can do.
Yeah.
Nagasaki, reminder. Look, big glow, flash of light. I just listen.
I think the bombs are a little bit stronger nowadays, though, than back then when they first dropped it.
And you know what I hate? And we have more chats, comments.
There's a
I'll let
lot
read this
that
in
you
a second.
hate, but I suppose
you know
you're
what I
going to
hate?
give us something else.
Here's what I
list.
hate. Here's what I hate.
Yeah.
I hate women that bitch and complain. What? I hate women that bitch and complain. Oh, I got in a relationship with a guy, and I slept with him, and we had a kid, and then he bailed on me, and now he doesn't ever see the kid, and I have to fight with him to get child support. Did you not see it coming?
No.
Did you not see it coming?
No,
Did you honestly think
Kevin,
when you met the guy?
She was focusing on something else when she was coming.
Did you honestly? You're true. Did you honestly think when you met the guy and he would only come to your house at 2:00 in the morning? He didn't buy you dinner. He didn't remember your birthday. He broke up with you before Christmas. Okay? Do you honestly think that when he only came over and humped you and left, That he was going to give a shit about if you had a kid?
He said it
He
was
was going to be
special.
there for you? He was going to be there for the kid?
He said he loved me.
Take some responsibility for your own freaking decisions in your
The
life.
condom fell off.
You had unprotected sex with a man.
No, the condom fell off.
It was clearly sex.
I got a free phone.
And the minute you got pregnant, he bailed, and you're shocked.
Somebody's got to pay.
I'm not forgiving.
really?
I'm not forgiving the guy. I'm not. But for God's sakes, you're not a victim. You're just not a victim. You're a whore, okay? You're a whore. You're either a whore for his money, or a whore for attention, or a whore for dick, or a whore for time, or a whore for his car, or a whore for something. But that's what you are. Stop. You're not a victim. Everyone is responsible for their actions. Paul gave me shit earlier tonight because I admitted on my Facebook page often the mistakes I made in my relationship with my daughter's mom. Why do I do that though? I do that because I own my responsibilities. I'd be a hypocrite if I blast her on my Facebook page and talk about how badly I want to see my daughter if I don't own what I did.
Right.
If you're a woman and you had a relationship with a man and you got knocked up and the man left, why don't you sit down on your fat bonbon eating ass and think for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, two minutes,
Kevin,
and just ask yourself.
Kevin,
hold on, just ask yourself. Did I see this coming? Am I totally surprised this guy turned out to be a flake? When he came to my house at 2:00 in the morning and humped me and left, am I shocked?
Des,
I
need you to be ready to
Felch.
to go ahead and put this out there, okay? Because
Yeah.
this is going to sound horrible.
Oh no!
I need to make sure that Kevin understands this.
Okay.
that I'm right next to you.
Listen.
All right.
What is she going to put out there?
Listen, whore fucking Kevin is not a victimless crime.
Make sure you put that on the outlaw page.
Okay.
St. Paul says whore fucking is not a victimless
All
crime.
right, I'll do that right now.
You make sure you do that. All right. Now, while you do that, I will
I'm
read
going
some
to
of the
hell for
comments in
that
the
one.
chat room. Let me read some of these.
That's all right. Hey, listen, in a little bit here, we've got our weekly funny ass video to play, and you guys are going to absolutely love it.
DJD says, "Hey man, I happen to have that same problem. I'm expected to pay child support for
You
my
say
daughter
same
in
problem?
Alaska. Same problem.
Okay.
By the way, this is Dennis from the Raw Nerve. Thanks for outing yourself, buddy. Alaska courts only gave me supervised visits and to have a psychological evaluation based on the fact that I DJ in a bar.
That's the only reason.
I know you. There's Leroy Jenkins says the part of the system that part of the system is way broken. Problem is that system they set up was instituted and has never been reworked to balance it out. Hello Kitty says that's crazy. Leroy Jenkins has agreed DJD nuts. Hello Kitty says I agree K-Dog. I'm not really sure what you're agreeing to because I don't remember when you put this up there. Leroy Jenkins says that's why we fight and push for our rights. We have to speak the truth that the system is flawed and needs to be redone. Everyone has to pull their own weight in raising the kid. The system gears to that dynamic, and unfortunately now women do more of the leaving negligence. 30 years ago that was not the case. DJD says I'm sane, Paul. And then he says, thanks, guys. We love you, DJD, and I don't think you need to shrink. Maybe some electroshock therapy, but probably not a shrink.
Look, let me tell you something. How do we know the system is flawed? I'll tell you, a friend of mine right now, a very good friend of mine, and I'll just tell everybody, Kelvin G, still a real good friend of mine. Everybody remember who he's from, the owner-operator that is now the defunct Kelvin G's Tropic Blast. Mm-hmm. He had, and notice the words I say, had custody of his kids. Was rewarded full custody for 7.5, almost 8 years. Mm-hmm. 2 months ago. A month and a half ago, he lost custody. Why? A judge went back and reviewed not before his kids was born, not when he was married, but things that he did in his past before he was even married, before he even had kids. And deemed him an unfit father. And since his ex-wife broke the parenting plan and moved out of the county that she was supposed to stay in without permission. I mean, I know some guys have been down this road before. She was supposed to give notice and whatever that she was moving out of county, and it's in the parenting plan that if either parent moves, then the other parent gets full custody, sole custody. Well, she moved, didn't give notice, didn't tell anybody where she was going. She took the case back into court a month and a half ago. The judge not only took away his full custody rights, but dropped him down to weekend visits every other weekend. Why? They still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's crazy. He had full custody of his kids for 7.5, almost 8 years, and it absolutely had nothing to do with the way he parent. No one's ever came out and said he was a bad parent. No one's ever said anything that he didn't take care of his kids. The judge looked at something that happened long ago in his past that she was like, yeah, you shouldn't have your kids.
Yeah, they do. In other words, they dug something up and threw a bunch of shit at the wall to see what would stick.
And his lawyer became so useless in this situation that the lawyer's sitting there like, what? So yeah,
Look,
yeah, he really got screwed in this.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It's society as a whole. Society is sick. Susan Smith kills her 2 kids when they're strapped in the back seat of a car.
Yeah.
She drives into a pond, and the media's all over this. Oh, she must have been mentally sick. There must have been a problem with her. A woman would never do that. Josh Powell kills his kids when he sets the house on fire. Yeah. And then he's clearly the world's biggest asshole. I mean, we're making excuses for women based on the fact that they're women, and I'm sorry. I don't know if there's that big of a difference anymore between the two. Women are so, and again, I'm not making excuses for men. Ladies, we're jerks.
There are some guys out
Okay?
there.
No, we are all jerks.
There are some guys
all
out there
of
that
us,
are.
in different ways. Troja's a jerk in some way, somehow.
I just choke people.
I'm sure you choke people? I'm going to leave that alone.
That
in
sounds
some
more like
ways,
a fetish.
It's a fetish. In some ways, somehow, we're all jerks, okay? Troja's a jerk to certain people at McDonald's, okay? Paul's a jerk to some people in parking lots outside of a pool hall. I'm a jerk always. But the point is I'm sorry to all the women out there that have dated guys. We're jerks. But guess what? You're not angels, okay? Having a relationship with a woman literally is like, the only way I can explain it is masturbating while your hand is wrapped in sandpaper. Okay, it just is a bad idea.
There are certain
It may get you where you're
do
going.
not need to make.
It may get you where you're going, but it hurts a lot getting there.
Dude.
It's very hard. Okay,
Apparently, if you're masturbating with sandpaper,
it's very difficult. And I'm just gonna say this:
Wolverine.
the idea that men are
it's healing.
The idea that men are the ones completely inherently flawed. The idea that men are the only ones that do anything wrong.
Maybe you're
the idea
inherently
that,
flawed.
The idea that you got knocked up and you got left with a kid and the man split. The idea that you won't get a job, or you get a job because you didn't finish high school and you're working a minimum wage and your man moved on. One of the things that pissed me off the most is when my ex-wife and I split.
I got pissed when my wife and I split too.
No, when me split my ex-wife was literally a pleasure. But when we split, and I went on to do other things.
You mean women?
No, I mean
You went on to
job-wise.
do other women.
I've never said this on the show before, but when we broke up back in 98, 96, excuse me. When we split in 96, one of the things she told me was, my life is going to be so much better without you. You're not going to be the dead weight anymore. I'm going to do great things, and my life is going to be awesome. It's going to go places. That's really what she said to me. Okay? Do you know what she's done since then?
Have you spent time on the Disney network?
Do you know what she's done?
That was a Disney voice.
Do you know what she's done?
What?
Not a goddamn thing. Okay? She didn't get any more education. She didn't get any better job. She's never held a job for over a year. I certainly hope to God my kids are not listening to this. My boys are not listening to this, but they don't ever listen to this show. And I'm not bashing her. I'm just saying, if you stop and the man moves forward, the man gets punished for that. Right? Because now the man has to pay more child support because now he's got a better job. He's expected to pay more. Meanwhile, she sits at home. She doesn't do anything to better her life. She knows she's going to get more money every month anyway, off the back of the guy who did more when he left you, and he furthered himself and bettered himself and got a better job and is making more money because he busts his ass. And now you're going to go back every 2 years and redo the agreement and make him pay more because he's making more money. How is that fair? There is no responsibility put on her to do anything. Nobody says to her, well, guess what, sweetheart? He's breaking his back. If you and Harmony split, Paul, which will never happen because you guys love each other too much.
Not again.
But if you and Harmony split and then Gordon retires and you take over the concrete pump business all by yourself and you double your income, they're going to come back to you and ask you to pay more child support because you have more income. Well, what if Harmony decides, I can live off of that. I don't need a job. Well, now they're going to do their little budget calculations, and they're going to say, here's how much he's making, here's how much she's making, and they're going to factor that all into their grand conclusion. And because she's making less, you're now expected to pay more to make up for her lack of motivation and her lack of desire and her lack of self-respect.
You can tell with the amount of time Kevin is spending on this one subject, there's a great deal of personal thought. There's a great
I can
deal
do a 4-hour show on this.
of pain. There's a great deal of, well, Kevin can identify with this. He feels this. He feels John Cryer's pain.
Yeah.
Because at one point in time, Kevin was Ducky too. So,
do you have comments, Desiree?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say Leroy Jenkins in the chat, I agree with what he said. He says it's flawed because there's no equality.
Equality.
No, it didn't say equality.
I know. Well, I'm just saying that there's no equality, Leroy, because you don't know how to spell equality.
Oh, okay. They do not look at the facts of every case and remove the gender bias. The case should be based on the following things only.
The content of a man's character.
No. Financial capability, safety of the children, and the psychological stability. Anything else shows bias and is largely irrelevant to the case.
And then I've got another one here
Sure.
from our casement after that says, I honestly don't have a problem paying child support when I can afford it. Honestly,
when I can afford
honestly, I think the numbers are kind of messed up. There's no way
it's
it costs
true, yeah.
a lower class family $1,000 a month to raise a kid. But the length the systems goes to make sure the mother can sit and do nothing is insane. Hello Kitty says, seriously, I may be getting help from the state, but wait a minute, hold on. Hello Kitty, I wasn't attacking you directly. Seriously, I may be getting help from the state, but I'm going to school to better my education so I can get a job that supports my kids fully. My ex doesn't pay shit for child support, so it's all on me. I'm not sitting in my ass stuffing it and making my ex pay more so that he should just pay more than he should. It keeps auto scrolling, so I keep losing where I'm at. More than he should for my kids, just so I can sit on my ass and do nothing. I know way too many mothers out there that do this and think they deserve more. Hello, Kitty. Again, I wasn't addressing your situation directly. I'm not 100% sure what your situation is. We haven't talked in a while. Leroy Jenkins, you can force the issue based on education level and experience, though. I did, even though she wasn't employed. It forced her to actually go out and get the money she was allotted as income. It's again, and I'll wrap this discussion on this. I know that you've got some stuff you want to play. Until the expectations are the side on both ends, it will never be equal. It will never be the same. Until a woman with the children is expected to behave in the same way that a man without the children is expected to behave, then it won't be the same. And a woman will say, well, my job is raising the kids. That's my job. That's my contribution. It's so hard. It's harder than having a real job. No, it's not. Don't fool yourself. Okay? I've been a stay-at-home dad, and I've been at work. Being a stay-at-home dad is not that hard of a job. It is in spurts in the day. When you do the dishes, or you do the laundry, or you take care of the kids.
No, it's not hard.
But it's not an 8 or 9 hour a day job when you're working for somebody else. You're doing stuff on somebody else's time schedule. You're punching a clock. You're there when they tell you to be there, doing what they tell you to do when they tell you to do it. It's not ever remotely the same. So the women who sit back and cry about the fact that I'm a full-time mom and this is the hardest job ever, you idiot bitches that put stuff on Facebook about how I'm a mom and it's my job and I have the hardest job in the world, you're fooling yourself. Go get a job in the real world. You're fooling yourself. I just want expectations to be the same. And if you're going to tell a man that he has to do X, Y, and Z, then the woman needs to have responsibility on her as well. And especially if the child's in school, the judge should order her to go get a job. If she won't go get a job, order her to do volunteer work. Order to do community service. Contribute to your society. Contribute to community. Do something.
I'm sorry. Take that, socialist. No, you shouldn't be ordering people to do anything.
You don't think
sorry,
so?
No.
No, I'm telling you right now, if you're going to order the dad to pay child support and the amount that he pays is contingent upon the fact that she's doing nothing, then she has a responsibility in the equation to do something. Now, if you take her actions out of what he's expected to pay, then I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
But because her behavior or lack thereof establishes how much she has to pay, then you have to order her to do something because there has to be a check to that balance.
Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, there are not a lot of checks and balances in our
well,
court
that has to
system.
stop.
Not at all.
So-
I mean, I was listening to something just the 2 days ago, and I forget what show I was listening to, but the fact that they brought up that welfare people that are on welfare makes more money than people who are actually working minimum wage. That was just, I just found out. I was like, oh, you freaking kid.
Dude,
that's crazy.
Somebody actually just clicked that they liked your comment. Dating a woman is like masturbating with your hand covered in
Did
sand.
somebody really put that on?
Really?
Did you put that on the page?
Wow.
I gotta watch what I say now. Everything that I say
Oh
is gonna
my
be
God,
owned
that's just
It's
out.
already on air. If you don't want it on air, it's just going to...
You told me to state what you say. That's exactly what I did. That's your own fault.
Wow.
That's outstanding.
Wow. And this quote was by K-Dog, the loose cannon from
Right
Edge
now,
Media.
You wanted me to say your name, too.
That's
So.
right. Right now,
On the
Kevin's
last
thinking,
call.
up until this point in time, it was a great idea to have an intern over there to learn in production.
Well,
work.
she put on there, I am a jerk always, all men are jerks, but somebody put on the page, but a jerk that can sing really good. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Oh, Lord. All right, so we got a few...
I can sing! That's all I've got!
Yay.
I can sing!
1 point towards
I'm
K-Dog.
single till the day I die, but I can sing.
So you don't have much, but you know that you can sing.
Right.
Oh my God. How many people have liked that? Hold on a minute.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's okay. I don't know who Ali Snar is, but I might have to marry her because she liked it. That's outstanding. Wow, I got to really watch what
Either that or she, has got a Lorena Bobbitt complex.
Oh, I don't know. I can't believe you put that out there. Wow. All
You told
right.
me to say what you said.
All right,
That's
so
what
you've
I
got
did.
stuff to say, and
Well,
we
no.
have the most inappropriate jokes on radio, and then we have to set up next week because you do realize what next week is, right?
What?
Next week is a
This next
4-hour last call, man.
Oh, is it? Because Monday's a holiday.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Actually, we're not doing inappropriate jokes tonight because we actually have a video that in its entirety is a very inappropriate joke.
Oh, I have no idea what this is.
I
so
know
I'm
you
not
don't.
responsible.
You haven't.
How
seen
long
this
is the
in real
video?
life. It's like 4.5, 5 minutes.
So can we play that at the end? Can we? Can we go
It is
out with
the
that?
end. Have you seen what time it is? It's
Yeah,
a
we
5-minute
have to
video.
go 10 minutes late.
No, we're not.
Because we started 10 minutes late. The last call has to be
Kevin.
an hour long.
Oh, or the world will come to an end.
Yes, the last call is an hour
good
long.
Lord! No, I have to work. It's at 5:30 in the morning. We're done in 8
No,
minutes.
we're done. We're done in 11 minutes at 10 minutes after, and 6 of that will be before. That'll be the thing. So we're done at 6 after.
Kevin.
Yes.
All right, you got that.
Hey, did you
got
go to
that
the
video
fair?
ready,
Did
Trey?
you go to the fair this weekend?
No, I did not. Some of us were busy.
You did not go to the fair at all?
No, I did not.
You did not take your kids to the fair?
My wife took the kids to
Oh,
the
your
fair.
wife did? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Make you feel better? By the way, I'm going to do some information because there was apparently quite the little scandal going on out at the fair this weekend.
There was a scandal?
Yes.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Yes,
What's the scandal?
What's the scandal?
From what I understand
Yes.
about it, the Kitsap County Fair informed its volunteers that they were to instruct traffic not to park at Silver Spurs.
What's
They were
Silver
dir-
Spurs?
Silver Spurs is the rodeo ground, if you will. It's the horse arena area that is across the street where people park.
Yeah.
And they charge what, $5 or something for all
$6
day
or
parking?
something like that.
They,
Something like
well,
that.
they make a large portion of their yearly operating budget off of that. But the county instructed its volunteers to go out, and the fair instructed their volunteers to stand on the street corner and tell people that they couldn't park over there.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Why?
Because they instructed them that they had to park in the Kitsap County Fairgrounds parking areas.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you have a
and pay for
volunteer who's
parking.
willing to go on record with that?
Apparently, there are quite a few people that are very highly upset about this.
Do you have
Really?
volunteers that will
Yeah.
come on the air with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to work on for next week.
I would like to have that. That
Oh,
would
so-
be, well,
that'd
but next
be a
week's a
hell of a
4-hour last
discussion.
call, you know.
It
Yeah, even that. I mean,
Yeah.
that you can definitely
Kevin, it
tie
don't-
that into a 4-hour
well,
last call.
listen, it
because
don't
that's
matter.
controversy.
Yeah, it's so I'm going to see what I can get. I'm going to see what I can come up with and see who I can get to come on air to talk about this.
All right. That's good. That's good.
So, all right,
And,
so-
I'll try to get a hold of the people that plan the fair. We'll see if we can get them
There
on.
we go.
I know who
Excellent.
they are. We'll ask them.
Excellent. All right, so I'm hoping that this video is this scene.
We
in
have
its
5
entirety.
minutes before we have to go to the video.
Just we can close the show out. All right. So shut
Well,
up,
can everybody-
dude.
can everybody
My
end-
God, you are bossy.
it's mine. This
the
is
mayor
my
is
hour.
in here. The mayor is in here. You run roughshod over me every time I try to speak to the poor young lady. You're
That is
interrupting
not what
me, cutting
happened.
me
That is
off.
not what happened. And you know
Yeah, I
it.
forgot that the mayor was going to be here tonight. Jeez, I had planned
I mean,
on being here.
constantly. He'd look at me, point at me, say, "Your question next?" I'd be, "Yeah," and then he'd follow up with another question, and then follow up with a follow up, and then follow up with a follow up about the follow up. Anyway, so we're not.
I cannot believe you're going to hang me out to dry.
We're
like
not
that.
doing
That
the
is not
most
even cool.
inappropriate.
No, we won't do the most inappropriate, but I want
Because
to
this video isn't in its entirety.
and that's why I was comfortable to let it go then. So before we go to this, because I want this to be the last thing we end with, really quickly, Trey, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap the show up, Caveman? Anything? Nothing? All right, Dez, Felch, anything you want to say before we wrap the show up? Nothing? Thanks for monitoring the social media and the Facebook page.
You're very welcome.
You're more than welcome to take down the comment I made about sandpaper.
I'm not taking that down. That's too funny.
All right, fair enough. All right.
I have something to say. Thanks for asking.
I was getting to you. You're a host. We go last.
Yes, but you're sitting there like looking around, and the black guy sitting right next to you. Didn't
Yeah,
even look in
sitting
his
like that.
direction.
He's
Just
going
even look at
next.
me.
Didn't look in his direction.
Sorry, I
didn't
just-
acknowledge him. Didn't pay any
No,
attention
I just
to him.
noticed a thing on here that said that Miley Cyrus took the stage tonight wearing a fuzzy gray leotard.
Yeah, she also grabbed Robin Thicke's
Oh yeah,
dick.
she pissed a few people
She
off. tonight.
grabbed Robin
That's why I
Thicke's
said
penis?
earlier during the break that
Oh
she
yeah,
likes
yeah,
men that
yeah.
are older
She
than her.
really
He's
pissed some
16 years
people
older
off
than
tonight.
her. Yes,
on the
it's very
VMAs.
raunchy.
Oh yeah.
Is it
It's
really?
disgusting, yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's totally off her rocker.
Oh
isn't
yeah.
she?
Yeah.
She
Like she
definitely-
went from innocent little Hannah Montana girl to.
Well, you know why she's gone
Oh,
crazy,
she
right?
is-
She doesn't
she
want
is-
that image anymore. She hated being fucking Hannah Montana.
Well,
Yeah.
Yep. Guess what? Just like Elizabeth Berkley, she done went down a road that there's no return.
As
And
long
you
as
know-
she doesn't go down Amanda Bynes' road, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, Amanda Bynes.
I don't know
Just
how much of a
start
difference is
naming
there
it.
between the two. I mean, she's
Amanda-
already on that way. She's already on that way.
I don't think as bad as Amanda Bynes.
What-
Amanda
what was-
Bynes tried lighting her dog on fire. That's why she's on rehab.
Did she really?
Yes, that's why
Light
she's
her-
in rehab.
She tried to light her dog on fire.
Yeah,
She
in her
wanted a-
driveway.
She wanted a hot dog. All right,
That's
Trojo.
not right. That's like, yeah.
Trojo, anything you want to say?
Yeah, just want to give a plug to the business where I work. For those of y'all who are in the market right now, I can tell you what, I work over at Advantage Auto Works, Advantage Nissan,
Yes.
located at 5018 Auto Center Boulevard. All right, so here's the skinny
fun
on this.
starts
Wait,
here.
what was the name of the road again? I thought it was Don't Have Money Way.
Hey, look. I'm just going to say this, all right? It's been a long time that I've been able to sit here on the microphone and say, I'm doing good this month. If you're looking for a great car deal, I don't care what we got to sell the car for. All right, price is not going to really. Price is really not going to be an option on this one. I am in first place on the board of
So
the
if
whole
I have a
auto
penny,
group.
you'd sell me a
Between
car?
Advantage Nissan and Advantage Auto Works, I am the #1 sales guy this month. I need to end at #1 so I can get my. I'm just going to put it out there. I can get $1,000 bonus if I can get a if I can lend as the #1 guy. So really, if you want a good car deal. People, if you want a good car deal, come see Jeremy Dinkins. Look, on the radio show, I'm Trojo. Who in the hell would be calling me right now doing the radio show at a
Clearly
from an
somebody who
800
didn't like
number,
my
and
comment
I
about
have
I don't
Sandra.
know.
no
I
idea
was
who the
kind
hell
of
it
tripping
is.
out because my hand all of a sudden is sitting here on the table starts
You know.
vibrating.
So,
By the way, if anybody from Hayes Hardware would like to sponsor this show on my sandpaper comment, more power to you. He took the call.
It might be an emergency, dude. Leave him alone.
I guess it could be.
this is he.
Hey, dude, this could be serious. Stop.
I guess it could be. Okay, hold on. Let's just wait.
Oh yeah, well I won't be available right now for the next 20 minutes to be able to speak because right now I'm in the middle of a radio show
Live.
live.
On the air.
We do have a comment for Trojo, though.
Do we have a comment for him?
Yes, it says, I
Hold
wonder.
on. Wait till he's on the air. Actually,
Oh,
wait till he's back.
okay.
OutlawRadioNetwork.com. You can tune in. You got a video.
At least he's promoting the radio show right now.
Hey, even one. If that one person hears, it could be amazing.
I know, that's why it's a good thing that he's promoting it,
That's right.
though.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. What was that all about? What was that? Was that
Somebody trying to get money.
at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night?
It wasn't a collection agent, was it? Because if
No.
it was, they were violent. Okay.
No.
would fuck somebody up.
Because
I was about to go off.
Listen, it's
Not on you, them.
It's someone. Okay.
You should let us know next
Listen.
time so we can make gay sex noises in the background. Yeah.
my
No,
nephew,
you know what we should have done? Jeremy, hang up the phone and come back to bed.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Because my nephew got himself in some
Yeah.
trouble down in Dallas, Texas, and for some reason he's got his wife believing the story that she told. And as I told him, look, I used to wear a badge. Look, listen, unless the laws in Texas have changed, My nephew
Did you
was
just
supposed
say unless in the laws?
He did. He said unless.
It's Ebonics. Go with it. Go with it.
Go with it. Unless the laws in Texas have changed compared to the rest of the United States, as I've told her, I'm not buying the story. I want to hear the true story. You know, my nephew got in some trouble. He was supposed to go turn himself in on a parole violation. He was late, and what he told her. Oh, because he was late, they wouldn't let him turn himself in. Okay, stop. Pause. If he was late turning himself in, they're still not going to turn him away just 3 days. Turn him away just to turn around 3 days later and arrest him for a driving violation.
I'm sorry, sir. You're wanted and past your expiration date. Go sit right over there. I mean,
exactly. It's like
I feel better, by the way, that she did put on the page. St. Paul says whore fucking is not a victimless crime.
I actually forgot what the second part of that was.
She
I
had to
ask
send me a
Paul.
message. You go,
Yeah.
whore fucking's what?
I will be creating a last call Facebook page tomorrow morning just so we can separate these.
yes, that would probably
So the
be a
people
good
don't go to the
idea.
page.
Well, see,
and
that's
see-
what I was thinking about when I asked you earlier. It's like, are you sure you want me to still post? And you're like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
No, I think
You told her to do that?
No, I didn't think we were posting on last call, but that's okay. Why don't we delete all of these, and then tomorrow I'll have a last call one for you to post on
Okay.
by next week's show.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and delete all these.
Nothing like good censorship.
No, I don't
All right.
want. I just want
Do you
to. I want
wanna-
to separate the two
Oh,
shows.
it's cool. I know you Dems are
Outlaws
totally into
more
censorship.
newsy. This is more off the
Floozy.
cuff. More newsy, more
got
floozy.
He's got a good point.
All right, did you have anything else you wanted to say, Trojo, before we wrap this?
No, actually, I mean, I just want to. I just
Say it.
want
Say it.
to.
Oh, we have a comment in the chat
Yeah,
room
that's
for
what
you.
I was saying. Do you
Go
want me to
ahead.
read that comment?
Please come buy a car from me.
All right,
Please
Trojo.
come buy a car
Trojo,
from me.
this comment's for you. It says, I wonder if anyone has gone to Trojo for a car saying some guy who said you hated him sent me. I gave him referrals like every other day.
I won't respond or comment on anything at this very moment.
Fair enough. Paul, anything you want to say before we wrap to the show? Anything?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna leave it
So
alone.
you're a jerk. You got mad at me earlier. I'm your co-host. Don't I get the chance to close anything? Blah, blah, blah. Then I come to you and you're like, I don't need to say. Next week is a 4-hour last call.
Maybe.
What does that mean? That means that a couple things will be in effect. Now, one, Trey and Desi have never been here for a 4-hour last call. Is that correct? Trey, have
Yeah.
you? All right, so here's the rules. We will reinstate the drinking game next week, which means we will give you the list of rules, and at any time if that happens during the show, you must take a shot. So between now and next week, get your beverage ready to go. We will have a beverage in studio. It will sit right here on the table.
Desiree, you get pineapple juice.
Just said I was excluded from that.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
and you're
you're
running
very
social media.
excluded.
In fact, I'm giving you permission tonight that you'll actually be updating on our drunkenness throughout the show.
Oh, that's always the best
And you'll
part.
need to keep track on how many shots we've had to do throughout the show as well.
Okay, I can do that.
So that'll be the first rule. We're going to give you 5 rules at the beginning of the show. We'll update them frequently so that you know what they are. But if any of those things happen, now I already know what 3 of them are. Okay. Rule number 1 is if Paul ever says anything politically generalized, like conservatives this or liberals that, you take a shot. If I say anything sexually or racially insensitive, you take a shot.
No, just sexually or racial.
Insensitive.
No.
No,
just
I can make a
sexually or
comment. I
racial.
can make
Dude, you want him to sit here quiet the whole night? I mean, you.
And what was
have you heard
Trojo's
him
rule?
No,
speak?
because the last time we had a drinking show, he drank so much Jägermeister the entire 4th hour
my
of the
God.
show.
I was
he
laying on
laid
the
down
floor.
on
He
the
was
floor.
laying on the floor.
At
I was
the
on
end
the
of it, he
floor.
opened up the
Yeah.
window and just
Let's just say he let it fly.
Earl.
Coffee Girl Ann says there's many hardworking moms out there that don't get crap from the POS sperm donors and that are doing just fine, not taking advantage of the state, actually working and providing all on their own. Okay, that's true. I don't dispute that at all. You may be 100% correct. However, for every, I would guess that for every one of you that may be working hard and not taking any money from the state, there are 6 like you that are and are relying on the state to enforce their laziness. So I'm not saying all women. Again, remember, we go back to the KITZ days.
Oh, boy.
And women get bent out of shape because I talk about women
They do
and
get
they
bent out of
say
shape, don't
not all women are like that. Well, I never said all women.
You just
Okay?
said women.
I said women
No,
in
you
a
said
generalized term. Now, not all women are like that. not all women, some women understand it. Some women work hard. Some women don't need the state to prop them up. Some women are able to carry themselves in the correct way. Some women are mature enough to handle themselves in the real world. But most women are not. Most women need the crutch. Most women literally are children that need somebody to hold their hands because they can't do it themselves. Not everybody, but most. And I'll know that it's time to get married again when I find one that isn't.
Okay. Are you
I
done?
don't want to carry
Are
nobody.
you done?
And I don't want nobody carrying me.
Okay.
That's what you, Paul. God, you're hot. Okay, go ahead.
I can't help
Anything
it.
you want to
I
say
have
before
that
we wrap
effect
this?
on men.
Do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. All right. The last thing I'll say is, again, have your beverages ready. Hello Kitty says, I don't want to be a stripper even if I happen to be selling coffee while doing it. I'm not sure what that means. All right. Again, have your beverages ready. I would get a fifth of something and be ready to go. Also be somewhere you're not going to drive.
So, okay.
And the last thing I'll say is...
Isn't this like the fourth last thing?
No, this is the last thing.
And the last thing from the last thing.
And the last thing I'll say is next week, 9 o'clock, we will do our
football pool picks.
Our football pool picks. Be ready to go. Will you be here for all 4 hours next week since it's a 4-hour last call?
What, do you got to think about it?
It's the last call, dude. You're part of the last call.
Just yes or no.
I know.
You're a card-carrying member of the last call.
I know.
Will you be here for all 4 hours of the last call? Don't tell me you got to ask your girl for permission. Don't do it.
No.
Will you be here for the last call?
I can be here. I told you I'd be here early last
All
week.
4 hours?
I can be here all 4 hours.
All 4 hours. Good man.
I can't drink, but I can be here.
And you know who I want over there sitting next to you for all 4 hours?
No, who?
Strip.
We need to get BJ in here for the last call next
Oh my God! Can we get BJ
We need
in
to
here?
get BJ in here next week.
Can we get BJ in here and her slutty little friend that she brought in last time?
We need to get
Oh my
them in
God!
here
That
for
girl
next
was
week.
nuts. that girl was
We
freaking
really
crazy.
need to get them in here next week.
First of all, you don't think BJ's listening, do you?
I don't know.
Maybe BJ, if you're listening, get up in here. I'll show you more pictures.
I would not touch her friend because her friend screams. I've been with more sailors than the Nimitz.
Oh yeah,
but she was just crazy. We have to get him back on again.
Yeah, we got to get him
All
back
right.
in here.
So Paul set up the video, and then I got one last thing to say before you play
Oh,
it.
Jesus. One last thing again. There you go. Again, see?
I have one last thing to say before you play it. What's the video you're playing?
Well, the video that we're going to play, we're talking. Normally we have the most offensive 5 minutes in radio, where we tell all kinds of insensitive jokes, politically incorrect jokes, racial jokes, sexist jokes, everything. You mention it and we tell it. Well, instead, this evening we are going to play a video of the most insensitive 5 minutes in radio. So that's all I'm going to say to set it up. Now you got your headphones on. You can hear.
Last thing I'm going to say. Good night, bitches.
All right, play the video.
Good night, bitches. Hold on, you gotta restart it with the sound up.
For a state title. Theirs was victory's glory.
Come on, y'all. Why y'all still sitting here? The game's all about to start.
Coach, we scared. Look, there's 10,000 white people out there that think that we ain't good enough. You know what? Maybe we ain't.
All of y'all feel like that? 400 years in this country, the black man has been spit on, kicked, drugged through the mud. But I've got two things I can tell you. Number one, win or lose, I am so proud of y'all. Number two, you're gonna win. It's just that plain and fucking simple. You're going to win.
But them white boys from Hickory Tech.
What game are we playing?
Basketball, coach.
What color is this game?
White.
Exactly. They're white. You're black. This is basketball. Am I speaking fucking Chinese? I mean, come on, people. You guys are 25-0.
Yeah, coach, but that was against all black teams.
That's the point. Y'all gonna kill those Caucasians.
But coach, look at the fundamentals.
The fundamentals, it doesn't matter. It's all the same when you're some cement-foot, troglodyte white boy getting dunked on with a big pair of black fucking nuts hanging on your forehead. Speaking of nuts, Lucius, come on up here, Lucius. Tell them, how long is your dick?
I don't know, Coach. Like a foot? Foot and a half?
Foot and a half. Foot and a half? Their arm ain't even that long.
Well. The Negroes gonna play basketball or what?
Yeah, you Negroes. What's the matter? You realize you didn't belong in a white man's game, you Negroes?
That's right, this isn't a game for Negroes. It's a game for good, honest, white people. Not for Negroes. You understand? Negroes! White Knights! White Knights!
Hey, Coach, they look tough.
They look tough. Ooh, I'm so scared. You know what they might do? One of them might dribble with his left hand all the way down the lane and then go up for a left-handed layup. And you know what's going to happen then? Your black ass is going to swat that shit, jump over his cracker ass, and dunk in his goddamn face. How many fucking times do I have to tell you? You're black, they're white. This ain't hockey.
Guys, I think what Coach is trying to say is that
The key word is teamwork. No, the key word is you're black, they're white.
So, Coach, what you're saying is, if we just walk with the Lord,
The Lord done did his part already. He made you black. He made them white. He gave you a foot and a half dick. Dribble with that motherfucker. As long as y'all are out there on the floor, you're gonna score more points than them. That's just how basketball works. Cut that goddamn smoke crack shit out. Tries my motherfucking patience. Go out there and win.
let's go.
This sounds right over.
It was a glorious game. But late in the fourth quarter, when Lucius Williams dribbled the entire length of the court with his foot in a half piece, the referees had no choice but to call a technical foul, sending young Bobby Lee Mayflower to the line for the most dramatic moment of the contest.
Good night, bitches.